I've seen Afterpay as a payment option on tons of websites, and honestly, I completely ignored it because I assumed it was some kind of scam. And then last week, I was chatting with a friend about how she loves to use Afterpay and feels like it's better than using credit cards. So I checked out Afterpay and I followed the money to find out, is this a good or a bad deal for consumers? What I found out might surprise you. With Afterpay, you pay 25% of the purchase price upfront, and then you make payments every 2 weeks until your purchase is paid off after 6 weeks. And there's 0 interest charges, the payments are automatically withdrawn, so you don't have to worry about remembering to pay them. My friend likes to shop on payday with Afterpay, and then she knows that future payments will be withdrawn on her next 3 paydays. So basically, it's a free short-term loan. But every time I hear that something is free, it makes me a little suspicious. And it makes my ears stand up. So I wanted to know, how does Afterpay make money? A lot of people assume that Afterpay makes most of their money by charging people late fees when they don't make their payments on time. And honestly, that's what I assume too, but that's not actually the case. Afterpay is a publicly traded company, so their financial reports are public, and they show that less than 15% of Afterpay's income is from late fees. If you do miss a payment, there is a late fee every week until you pay it off. The total late fees are capped at 25% of the purchase, so they don't continue to build forever. Afterpay also blocks you from making any more purchases if you're behind on payments, so they really don't snowball like other kinds of fees can. Although Afterpay does make some money from late fees, the vast majority of their income is from fees that they charge to the merchants. Merchants pay a fee of around 4 to 6% of the purchase price to offer Afterpay to their customers. The way it works is when you buy something for $100 with Afterpay, Afterpay gives the merchant $94 right away, and then Afterpay handles collecting the full $100 from you over the next 6 weeks. If you return the item, you'll get the full amount back and the merchant just loses those fees. Now compare this to the typical credit card processing fees for merchants, which are only around 1 to 3%. So why are merchants willing to pay double the processing fees for Afterpay? It's because they're nice, right? We all know that companies always spend money on us just out of the kindness of their hearts. Of course not. It's because they sell more merchandise if they have Afterpay. And it's not just a little bit more, it's a lot more merchandise. If you look at how Afterpay advertises itself to merchants, Afterpay says its merchants get 20% higher cart conversions and a 17% increase in average basket size. So that means 20% more people who put things in their cart actually click to buy it, and people that make purchases have 17% more stuff in their orders. You can see why it's attractive to merchants and why they're willing to pay Afterpay's high fees. It's like they're paying $5 to make an extra $20. But what does this mean for you and me? It means that we're likely to buy more if we use Afterpay. We all want to believe that we don't fall for these psychological tricks, but the numbers show it's true. It's just so much less painful to see 4 payments of $25 instead of $100 today. Of course, being aware of these psychological tricks is the first step to overcoming them. So now that we understand how Afterpay works, should we use it? Well, some people like to use Afterpay because they feel like it's a better alternative to credit cards. Well, is it? Afterpay is a type of credit, but one thing that makes it different from a credit card is that it doesn't affect your credit score. Or maybe I should say that it's credit in the trying to strap your 2-year-old into a car seat kind of way, meaning it certainly won't help you, and there's a distinct possibility you might get kicked in the face, or your credit score might. Afterpay says they don't report on-time payments or late payments to your credit bureaus, but they do reserve the right to report things, which means they're likely to report accounts that are defaulted on, which would definitely hurt your credit score. Another difference is that with Afterpay, you don't know ahead of time if your purchase will be approved or not, unlike a credit card with a defined credit limit. And they do deny a lot of purchases. 50% of initial purchases and 30% of subsequent purchases are declined. Afterpay also doesn't give any rewards or cash back, it isn't accepted everywhere, and it doesn't have any consumer protections like a credit card does. The only advantage of Afterpay over a credit card is that you might be able to qualify with low or no credit, and a lot of people do enjoy the convenience of it. Otherwise, credit cards seem to be a better choice. So, should you use Afterpay? Well, it's definitely not a scam. It's a short-term loan that the merchant pays the fees on. And the merchants are willing to pay for it because it's very likely to get you to shop more often and buy more stuff when you do shop. Personally, I think credit cards are a better deal compared to Afterpay, but if you disagree with me, change my mind in the comments. I'd love to hear if you think Afterpay is better than credit cards. Next up, check out my video where I went on the hunt for the best cashback credit cards with the least amount of hassle for people who are too busy to play games with credit card points.